There we go. Live on YouTube. Wow. All right. So on our agenda, first is public comments. It does not appear that we have any. So we will move on to the minutes from July 27th. Has everyone had a chance to read those?
I have.
Yes.
Okay. If you've had a chance to read those and you approve, well, we had some closed session minutes. How do we need to do that, Shannon?
The closed session.
Yeah.
Yes, I talked to Barbara about it earlier this morning, and we agreed that it's probably going to be best to put those off until we meet in person again.
Okay.
It's closed names, and so there's really no way to do it without
Right.
that confidentiality.
So just put a hold on approving
The
the
closed
whole
session.
minutes until we can read the closed session minutes and do that.
Or how do you want to do it?
That'll work.
We can do that.
Okay. All right. So we'll just put a hold on those until we can meet in person and review the closed session minutes that were part of that meeting. All right, on to agenda approval. So the agenda for today, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as it stands?
Motion to approve.
In a second.
I second.
All right, thank you. All, let's see. All in favor?
Aye.
All righty. And moving on to director's reports. Barbara, take it away.
Okay.
Please.
I feel better about this and the fact that we're doing this on Zoom because, to be quite honest, not a lot is happening. No earth-shattering things are going on in the world of DSS because the state is concentrating on the addressing crisis with the COVID. And so we don't have a lot going on right now. We'll be gearing up for the energy program in the coming months. But right now, all of our monitors are doing it by Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Teams or whatever. We're not having a lot of inspections or anything going on. Everything is sort of quiet. So what I thought we would do, it had been a while since we had had a report from Adult Services. And so I asked Shanda to come in and talk a little bit about how COVID is affecting how we do business with the adults in the community for our guardianship, our APS, and our outreach. And so she's going to give you a little bit of background on that and address any questions you might have.
Hey everybody. We are still
Hey, Shanda.
we're still doing what we've been doing, taking calls, if it meets APS criteria, that doesn't change what we do. We will still go out, but we will wear a mask if we have to go inside. If we don't have to go inside, we've done a few talks out on the porch. We've done some outreaches, and I guess we've upped our outreach game since COVID, trying to get things took care of before it becomes an APS. We've not always the way state prefers it, but we need to get these things took care of before it reaches that level of APS in this situation, because people aren't going into the homes like they were. So if we can prevent an emergency, then we are. So the numbers are down with APS, up with outreach, the same with payees, the same. Our SA in-homes down because, well, it's down with us, but actually we're at our SA in-home. Our 3 slots are filled, but that's due to the DOJ. And they have transitioned people in, but we don't really do anything with that. The DOJ people do.
Can you explain that, what that is for me?
The transition is they are transitioning people from facilities into private living situations, and mental health is supposed to be with them for a year, helping them make the connections to live independently.
What happened, this
A few years
Probably.
ago.
15 years ago now, the state was actually sued because we were placing people in rest homes who their only incapacity was mental health issues, but we didn't have anywhere else to put them. And you all know the difficulty with mental health. The state was actually sued, and the Department of Justice said, no, you can't be placing these people in a rest home because that's not appropriate placement for them. You need to be placing them in an area that's less restrictive and where they can get treatment specific to their needs. So that's the DOJ decision that you hear about, and now they are trying to facilitate folks coming out of rest homes if they can be placed in the community with support and live independently. So that's what that is. So you all are aware of that. If you hear our jargon kind of, as usual, we have an acronym or abbreviation for everything. So that's what that is.
It seems like the Department of Justice is more interested in getting everybody out than if they can be there safely or not. And the ones that we have guardianship of, don't necessarily need to be out in the community because that's not their only problem, is the mental illness. So we have declined people being put into the general public, for lack of a better way of putting it.
And we are trying to work with those that we feel have the potential.
Yes, absolutely.
To be placed, but the wraparound services are just not available.
Not up
A lot
here.
of times. That's what we need, and so that's what happens. But we do have several of our wards who are in rest homes who could benefit from a little bit more independence, and we are constantly working along those lines. So right now, our wards are supposed to be visited at least every 90 days. And because they're in facilities, of course,
We can't.
a lot of the facilities have strict quarantine and are shut down. So we're making contact in other ways and following them through staff to be sure that they hopefully don't contract the COVID, because many of them do have some more chronic health issues. So we're doing that as well. So other things that we have with the adults, as Chanda said, we have the outreach, and people, we are getting increased calls on that area. I think a lot of it is the older folks aren't attending church. They're not getting out because they're afraid of the COVID. And so we're getting the calls to go check on them to be sure that they're okay. We're getting calls about people who are getting feeble or falling off, and people are concerned about them. And so we do try to do that outreach and see if there's anything that we can put in place for them to help them before it gets any worse. So that's what our adult services are doing.
And that's not a requirement, that's just something we do. And we get to it as soon as we can, which there's not a timeline on that. But I think we do pretty good. Usually we try to do that within 7 days.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, we want to help people. We're members of the community, and we want to help them before it gets any worse. So that's what we try to do. And a lot of it is educating people on what we can and can't do. Obviously, it's an adult. They have a right to make bad decisions. They can neglect themselves. They can abuse themselves. Um,
As
and
long as
there's,
they understand the repercussions of those choices.
there's not a lot that we can do about that. And it's not like with children where we can go in and take them out of a dangerous situation. We don't have a lot of families waiting around here to foster an adult like we do foster families for children. And there aren't a lot of places for people in this area. Placement's always difficult too. So that's always a problem for us. But we're getting there, and it's a constant battle. So.
And there's always a line or waiting for services too, with chore services and Meals on Wheels. Just because somebody needs it and they want it, there is, doesn't mean they're going to get it when they need it. There's a waiting time. There's always, a waiting list. As Vanessa knows, Vanessa has helped us with so many people. Praise Jesus that she does, because I don't know what would happen to some of them.
Yeah. I mean, she has some stories to tell.
I'm sure we all do.
Other programs here are doing well. We have, as I said, we're gearing up for the energy programs. Probably the latter part of October. We'll accept applications at any time, but of course we try to identify that there is a heating crisis and there's someone in the home who has health issues and could be threatened if there's no heat. That's the priority for the heating program, and we'll be ramping that up. I really honestly don't know how we're going to do the application process for that with the COVID. Hopefully by then we'll be able to have more personal contact with our clients, because otherwise I'm not sure exactly how we'll work that out. We'll do a lot of phone applications, I'm sure, but I don't know that we'll have people pouring through the agency like we usually do. But I'll let y'all know as soon as we have that worked out, so we can help spread the word for the energy programs. There's supplements coming in from the state for a lot of the programs. Things like the health choice fees have been waived, where people pay a portion in order for their children to be covered with Medicaid. A Medicaid-like program called Health Choice. They usually have to pay a symbolic amount. That's been waived. So there's a lot of things coming through, and to try to make it easier on the population. So the clothing allowance is coming. I'm glad you mentioned that. That is a program under our Work First program for families with children who need assistance in clothing their children for winter. And the applications are out here in our foyer, in our hallway, and they can complete those applications, and then we'll get back to them. That is to help children who will be going, hopefully back to school and need assistance with warm clothing this fall. So that's going on now, and we need to get that
October 1st.
October 1st, okay. We need to get that word out, and the applications will be available in the home for them to make their application. Okay.
We have a Facebook page now also.
Oh, yeah, Truman just tells me we have a Facebook page now.
Ooh.
Like it also.
That's been built by Alicia Calloway, and we thought that would be a good means of getting accurate information out to the public about programs, deadlines, that type of thing. And so she did that a couple of weeks ago, I think.
We've already got 100 likes.
We've got 100 likes on it, so, yeah, look this up. I don't know the exact, how it's listed exactly, but,
I think if you just go on Facebook and search for Avery DSS, you'll find it.
okay. And, so that's a change and an improvement. We are all now we're all now wearing masks in the office, except we're in our individual offices, and the county has been generous enough to provide us with masks. So we're all getting used to that. But I think things are pretty well moving along. Any questions, anything that's come up in your daily conversations that you need to clarify with us?
Barbara, I had a question asked me today. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I was kind of surprised I didn't know the answer to it about it. So can a person make a case or call DSS to make, I guess a claim would be I don't know what the right word, for child protective services and be completely anonymous?
Yes.
Okay. So they wouldn't, if this person called, they wouldn't ask for their name or number or any identifying anything.
They'll ask.
Okay.
They'll ask but if they say, I don't want to give that information, then that's fine.
Okay. Great.
Be given
When I
information
call, I
back.
always give, everybody, knows my name or whatever, and I just give them all the information. And so I didn't know how to answer this lady. So.
The problem is that a lot of times people will make a report and then they'll call us back in a week and want an update. And we can't give them an update if we don't know that they're the ones that gave us the information to begin with.
I got you. Okay, that makes total sense. Okay.
And we do run into that occasionally, that people will, they'll want to say, well, I called you last week and I gave you this information, but you reported it anonymously, so we can't share it with you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Same with adults.
Okay, same with adults.
And specify, they can give us that information and then specify, I don't want it to be shared.
Okay.
This is my name,
But keep it, off the books or whatever, something. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And all reports are confidential. It's not given out to anybody.
yeah, we don't go and say, Jerry just did this report on you and we want to know what's going on.
Right.
I mean, most people always think they know. Yeah. Anything else? Well, I promised it would be a short meeting, but I didn't think it would be 20 minutes. Jessica, did your oil even get changed in time?
They're working on it now.
Quicker than, hopefully we can eventually meet together and things get back to normal. We'll have some more normal meetings, but I appreciate you all taking the time to call in or dial in or whatever you want to call it. I'm on old tapes. I'm on 8-track tapes. We're on the MP3. But,
it's all right. We love them. It's okay.
I do appreciate everything you all do for us, and our staff does too, very much. Really appreciate your support.
Barbara, did you have a staffing update?
Oh, the staffing update. Well, we had an employee who told us she resigned, and this was last week, and then she turned around today and told us she's not. So this was still on the agenda. The only other thing that's going with the staffing is we do have a couple of people out on family medical leave. People with family members who are sick or who have health issues themselves. And people are being cautious about being out about and then taking things home to their family. So I certainly understand that, and family medical leave is available for those folks. We also have people still dealing with how they're going to do daycare and what's going to work for them when school's back in and how they're going to deal with that. So we're short-staffed, but under the circumstances, we're able to handle it because we don't have the clients coming into the building, and we're able to keep up with everything. But hopefully that'll change if we ever get back to normal. So right now we're fully staffed other than the people who are on family medical leave.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Any old business or new business from the board members? Any closed session items? Any reason to go into closed session? All right. Do I have a move to adjourn the meeting today?
I
I move.
moved to. Go ahead. I second it.
Okay,
And all in favor of adjournment?
I
All right, looks like our next is 17th. Anything else, guys?
When, Eva, when did you say the next meeting was?
September the 14th.
14th. Okay.
All right.
all
Well,
right.
thank you all so much. And
Thank
take
you.
care.